will, I thought I might go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a driving test here. This is the 95 today. The EFI version with the 5-speed is honestly really nice. I guess the only thing I really have against the driving on this vehicle is the strut spring rate is a little low for these American roads, and that's probably due to age and the fact that the shocks are worn. They're probably original too. The exhaust is loud, but that's due to the owner, not the car. Cruising along at about 76 miles an hour, about 75 kilometers an hour. Wait, I bet. Never mind. What about 70 kilometers an hour? So that's about 40 something miles an hour. Honestly, drives really well. It's a little floaty when you've got multiple passengers in here, but I really have no complaints against that. Hard bumps in the US are very hard bumps for K cars, but other than that, I mean, it drives pretty good. I really had no issues with it. I'll turn on the AC here for a minute just because it's hot, but it's gonna be pretty loud on video. AC works really well in this car. I mean, it's ice cold. I actually use the vent here with the phone mount there to keep the phone cool, because like the issue I've been running into tonight, just towards the evening, it's actually been too hot to record external footage of the car. It's about 103, 104 degrees outside. It's a little bit warm for my phone. It's just hot today. I was also going to try to get some drone footage, but it's just too hot right now. I'm going to have to wait. But if I can at least give an inside of the car driving experience, then I guess that's better than nothing, huh? Turn the air back down. It's definitely hot today. On to fourth. The transmission on these Honda K cars is, as usual, buttery smooth. Never had a problem with it. The engine's been great. AC's been great. There are some things here and there that I need to work on, but as far as the actual reliability of the vehicle, it's just been beautiful. Knock on wood. It has been beautiful though. It's kind of take the Honda K truck and then kind of streamline it a bit and make it faster, and you kind of have yourself a today, really. Definitely doesn't have like the bed of a K truck, but it does have the back seat for extra occupants, albeit small occupants. Although I have had full-grown people in the back. It's just the shocks don't like it. But yeah, it's been a good car. It really has. I think it's one of the more underrated imported K cars. But in its own right, I think that makes it a little bit more unique. I think that makes it really neat. Kind of a smaller community of owners, but they're all really good people. And yeah, I don't know what the Honda Beat drives like. I'm sure it's similar to this, but probably has quite a bit better handling, just because this has the front engine, so this has a lot more weight in the front than in the rear. You know, your typical front-wheel drive performance issues that you'll run into. But other than that, I mean, this thing is great. It's just smooth. I've driven this for about, I think, 4 months now, or since early March, so maybe even more than 4 months. It's just been a good car. I haven't really had any issues. I've driven it very long distance. I think I've driven it about, I think the farthest I've driven it is Austin, San Antonio, and back to Houston without any issues at all. When I drove to Austin, it was actually the middle of the day, which was the most heat. And speaking of heat, I have never had an overheating issue with this vehicle, ever. I commonly ride on the freeway at about 110 to 120 kilometers an hour with absolutely zero problems whatsoever. It's phenomenal. It's very impressive, because that engine is absolutely screaming at those speeds, but it just takes it. It just takes it. This car doesn't smoke at all, anything like that. Super healthy. It's got 106,000 kilometers on it. I believe I bought it at about 88,000 kilometers. Yeah, I really only have good things to say about this vehicle. It's been good. I mean, it's small, but it's been good. You just got to know to drive safe. And I think I could probably recommend one of these cars to anybody that likes, you know, kind of smaller, more fuel-efficient vehicles. Really, it's just been without issues. It's honestly impressive, really. about all I could say about it. Go ahead and turn around here. I'm actually lost for those of you that don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and turn around in here. I have no idea if this camera angle's good, so if it's good, then fantastic. Over here in Crosby, Texas, which is kind of out here. Slightly in the country, but not really. I can go through. It doesn't say you can't cut through the gas station. So speed limit 30, that's about 55 kilometers an hour. So cruising around 65. Probably end up taking back roads to get back. See if this guy sees me. Okay, she almost did. Kind of common to not be seen. That's actually part of the reason I got the exhaust louder. Even I don't 100% love it just because of how loud it is. It has kept people from hitting me. I did try to upgrade to flasher LED taillights to help since there's no third taillight on these 95 models. And it actually burned out the fuses after a couple months. So that wasn't very exciting. But, you know, what do you do? I'm gonna go this way here. I'm trying to go the main road back, but I'm not 100% on how to get back to it. Try to be nice and quieter to these people in these smaller neighborhoods, so I try to shift a little bit earlier. This is actually where the exhaust shop is, where I get all my import mufflers done way out here. Good people. He's always giving me crap, but good people. Guys are like, what the hell? Going about the speed limit, I believe. I want to try to get up to sort of a freeway speed to show y'all what the noise level is like. It's definitely going to be somewhere around 90 decibels, I think. Maybe 93, somewhere up there. It's not horrible, especially if I start playing music. I guess I kind of get adjusted to it's kind of like a frequency sound. I mean, the car has 0 muffler but 2 resonators right now, so the high-end noise isn't horrible, but obviously it's still there because there's no restriction on the sound coming out of the exhaust manifold. So yeah. Like shifting from 4th to 3rd, they're like super far apart. I tried though. I guess y'all can't really see my stick shift right now. I'll have to adjust that here. This is not a 0 to 60. This is just how the car normally drives, actually. Like, you kind of just have to drive it like this. Yeah. Going about 50 right now. Let's see if I can get up to 60 real quick. Definitely does take a little while to get there, but it will top out at the Governor, which is the end of the speedometer. So about 140, the fuel cut will kick in. But you can definitely start to hear that exhaust. Once I get to about 110, I can kind of let off, and it'll be a little bit quieter. About where I cruise freeway speed. This road, I don't really know what the speed limit is. They just we're doing some construction on it, so not 100%. You can see there's a little wheel wiggle when you're at about 65. That could be due to my old ass tires that need to be balanced, or something something else I'd have to look into. I really didn't notice anything else though when I did my underbody inspection last time I did the oil change. So I'm not really 100%, but have to see. I will say the car does like to pull a hair to the right. I don't know if it's because of just my body weight in here. I weigh about 165. When you sit in the car, you can visually see it lean a little bit, like just a hair. So part of me thinks because the whole car's leaning to the right that it naturally wants to flow to the right. But correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Headed back to Tascasita right now. Go find some dinner out here. Oh, also, for those of you that noticed, this thermometer in Celsius was, I believe, installed by the family that had the car in Japan. I just left it in there because why not? I mean, it's not really in the way, and it's kind of a cool little memoriam for the previous owners. Yeah. So, a lot of roads like this here in Houston, Texas. A lot of straight, long roads. This is just kind of what we deal with here. About 110, a little under 110. So this is normally what I cruise at on the freeway. She's yelling, but the engine really has no problems with it. But if I can, I try to keep it a little bit lower. So like, obviously the speed limit here is not that high, but everybody goes about 60 on this road. It's kind of a Houston thing. Shifter there. So interesting enough, this shifter is not twin cable driven like most front wheel drive cars. This shifter actually has a rod that it goes in and out and it's twisted, and that's how the shifting occurs. I thought that was kind of interesting when I first learned about the car. But yeah, so looks like it's got a little bit of play, but there's really no bushings that are worn out. I think it's just how it is. You might be able to maybe install some polyurethane bushings, maybe some homemade ones, and that would probably stiffen it up, but I mean, it's not a race car by any means, so it's really not. As you can tell on the dash, there is no tachometer. They have a tachometer trim level. You really don't need it unless, I don't know, maybe idle adjustments or you're racing. Again, I'm not racing with this, and probably never will be, so yeah. You can see the wheels, not perfect. It does like to pull a little bit to the right. So I normally lay my hand just kind of like at the bottom of the wheel. And it's good to go. It is a little bit windy. Actually, it's really windy right now. I didn't realize how windy it was. Might be getting some rain here soon with all these clouds out here. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little just kind of driving video. I was going to do a review, but it's just too hot. I'm gonna have to do it maybe earlier in the morning. I washed the car for it, but hopefully I get to that soon enough. I don't plan to get rid of this car anytime soon.